Valley Connection is brought to you by RPS Video Productions.
Welcome to this month's edition of the Valley Connection, where we bring you local information of what's happening throughout the Inland Empire. I'm Nancy Lopez.
I'm Cesaria Hernandez. Thank you for joining us. We have another great show lined up for you this month. Every year, our valley swells up with our favorite winter visitors, affectionately called snowbirds. We had a chance to visit with a few of our winter friends as we attended the Taste of the Valley at Golden Village Palms RV Resort. And guess what, Nancy? We have a special guest host for that segment.
And then I had a chance to visit an air ambulance service called Mercy Air out at Hemet Ryan Airport. We got to spend some time with the crew. So many wonderful people out there that work, and I even got to take a ride in their helicopter.
Ah, how fun. Well, another thing that's a lot of fun, on the first Saturday of every month, a very special event takes place out at the Western Center Museum. Kids and adults alike can come out and enjoy Science Saturday. There's always so much going on. It's just a great experience and one that you don't want to miss. We'll take you there.
And then our local financial advisor, Hugh Ruggieri, shares with us some tips on unique planning for financial peace of mind, which is so important, especially for some of us that are getting closer to retirement.
Oh yeah, we have so much more to share with you, so stay with us and experience some of the Inland Empire through the Valley Connection. I'm out here at the Western Science Center, and joining me are two representatives from the center. I have Crystal and Margaret here. And Crystal, tell me just a little bit about the activities out here.
Well, out here at the Western Science Center, we have Science Saturday, which is going on right now. Science Saturdays are always free, and they're the first Saturday of every month. And we also have our lecture series as well out here. And this lecture series talks about expeditions and voyages, so it's a very interesting lecture series.
Wonderful. Now, Margaret, tell me, what can somebody expect to see when they come out here to the museum?
All right, when they visit the museum, we have artifacts and fossils that are from the Diamond Valley Lake project that went on. And we have one very special fossil, and that is Max the Mastodon. He is the largest mastodon in the western United States. He stands about a little over 10 feet tall, which is about a foot taller than what we see at La Brea Tar Pits. So we're very thankful.
Wow, now you guys dug him up right out here.
Right out here. If you're familiar with the area, it's the West Side Dam, which is right off of Winchester Road.
Wow, really neat stuff. And Crystal, you guys also offer membership here. What does that entail?
The membership, once you purchase your membership, you can go into the museum for free for a year, so it pays for the whole entire year. Benefits to that would be that you get to see preview events of special exhibits, and you get a discount in our museum store, and so it's really a great opportunity to visit the museum.
Oh my goodness, that sounds great. Now tell me, in addition to Max, what else can you expect to experience out here at the Western Center?
Well, we always have temporary exhibits that are constantly changing. In the past, we've had Disney and the Magic of Music. We currently have the Gold Rush that is going to be changing. Again, we're going to be having the Magic Treehouse exhibit come. So these exhibits stay for a few months and then they move on. And when you get your membership that Crystal mentioned, you also receive free entry to our special exhibit openings that we have before each exhibit. So that happens as well. Our lecture series is ongoing. It changes every semester. That's with MSJC, so we get wonderful faculty that come and give those great lectures for people, and those are free for our members as well.
And all of this information can be gotten on your website, correct?
That is correct.
There are so many things to do and experience out here at the Western Science Center. Come on out and see Max or meet his other fascinating friends. We're going to be right back with more of the Valley Connection right after this.
The Camelot, a magnificent place locals describe as a castle. Located in the beautiful San Jacinto Valley, Holiday Retirement. Experience living like royalty as a resident at the Camelot with independent retirement living. Enrich your life with a warm, inviting sense of community and nothing to worry about but deciding among a full calendar of social activities, outings, and special events to participate in. Or you just might want to sit back and join in on a weekly fireside chat with friends and staff. Enjoy delicious and nutritious food as a chef prepares 3 meals a day for you. Whether you want a studio, 1 or 2 bedroom suite, they all come with a kitchenette and a refrigerator. Individually controlled heating and air conditioning with each suite, along with weekly housekeeping and linen services. As you experience the beautiful interior with 6 atriums throughout the building, come and enjoy the unique grounds of the Camelot. Independent retirement living and pet-friendly, one of over 300 holiday retirement communities across North America. If you are that independent retiree and ready to simplify your life, we invite you to discover all that holiday retirement has to offer at the Camelot.
I am out here at Hemet Ryan Airport with the Mercy Air flight crew, and I would like for you to start and introduce everybody that's in the crew and something about their roles and functions with Mercy Air.
Okay, Nancy. My name is Mark Donahue. I am the medical base supervisor and flight paramedic out here. This is my partner Dave. He is our flight nurse. And Gary, he is our pilot. Basically, we comprise of what's called a flight crew. You have a nurse, a paramedic, and a pilot. And that particular configuration gives us the ability to have a pilot that can get us from point A to point B at roughly 150 miles an hour. He can get us to that patient without having to worry about red lights, without having to worry about traffic. We can get that patient to the hospital very quickly. Then we also have Dave here, who has an extensive clinical experience from within the hospital. So what he brings to the table is he gives us the ability to treat patients medically and have that clinical expertise. My role as the flight paramedic is to have the experience of running 911 type calls, and so that gives me the ability to run really high acuity calls out on the streets. And so when you put us together, that's what kind of comprises this
Makes
team.
up the crew.
Absolutely.
Now you're based out of here, right? I mean, so you work out of the fire station, correct?
Yes.
So when you get the call that they need you, then you just come over here and you take off, correct?
Yes.
And what areas do you service?
We primarily cover Riverside County, but we also cover San Diego County, San Bernardino, Orange County. So we have a very expansive coverage area.
Now, what is the determination in the flight? I mean, how do you know it's necessary to emergency airlift someone? What's the protocol for that?
It varies within the different counties. Some of the counties will use time as an indicator. If the patient is greater than 30 minutes from the hospital, that's when they would incorporate air into it. A lot of the other counties use acuity. If the patient is critically injured, critically ill, time is of the essence and they need a higher level of care brought right to the patient's site, whether that's a mountain, whether that's the beach, whether that's the middle of the freeway. That's when they will make the determination to call air. It's normally handled by a fire captain, a battalion chief, a police officer. They will request us, or the treating paramedic will make that determination that we need Mercy Air, and they'll go ahead and activate us.
Dave, why don't you answer for us, once a patient is in flight, what kind of communication is happening with the ground?
Was it typically en route to a scene? We're in constant communication with the provider that requested us. So it could be EMS, could be fire, could be hospital to hospital. So we're in constant communication via radio, sometimes via satellite phone with these crews or these providers. We'll land. We actually keep in constant communication also with our dispatch. So we have multiple things going on. In addition, Gary is also talking to air traffic control, other aircraft in the area to make sure that the area is clear, make sure it's safe, and make sure that everyone stays basically safe around the either scene or the hospital or during flight.
And Gary, as a pilot, how do you know which hospital you're taking the patient? How is that communicated?
Normally, if we go to the scene, once we're there, the flight crew will talk with the people on the ground and determine where we'll go, and then they'll radio me and let me know. If it's something from a hospital, transport out of a hospital, I'll know ahead of time from my dispatch where the patient is going.
And I'm sure you have run into some difficult situations and conditions out there. What are some of those?
We never know, excuse me, what we're going to get. It varies from day to day. Not only do we deal with temperature extremes, we deal with altitude, we deal with, again, the sickest patients. So I think that one of the things that's very difficult for all of us is just having to deal with seeing the human pain, seeing the suffering, especially with the children. No matter how long I do this, it never gets any easier. So that's some of the things that we struggle with. I think that we're all professionals and we can all get our jobs done, but when there is a police officer that gets shot, when there is a firefighter that gets burned, when there's a child that drowns, we typically go on those types of calls. And so once the job is done and over with and we've got them to the hospital, we're still trying to deal with having to have seen those types of things. And it's tough to see, but again, that's part of the job, and we have each other for support, and when we're flying back, we can kind of lean on one another, and so it's great to have that team. So it helps us out tremendously.
Yeah, it does, I'm sure. As a pilot, have you had any difficulties landing in any particular places or conditions?
Sure, there's always challenges. For us at night in the mountains is probably the most difficult time. We do have night vision goggles, very similar to the military, and that's made a tremendous difference in the last several years. But there's always, weather's a factor sometimes. Wind can be challenging, and just the size of the area we're going to land, that can be difficult as well. But it's something that we're taught, and through experience, you get better at it.
Okay, so Mark, being a paramedic, do you have any advice that you can offer to the public about seeking medical care?
Absolutely, Nancy, and I'm going to actually look out at you and just to make a plea. If you're ever in doubt, please call 911. People get into paramedicine, they get into the fire service because we want to help. And I've noticed that there's a reluctance on people's part to activate 911, and we're there to help. We get into this field knowing that people get sick in the morning, in the middle of the night, on holidays, on weekends, and for whatever reason, people, again, they feel as though they're going to be putting us out by calling, and in doing so, they're doing harm to themselves. And so please, please, please call. If we get there and determine that it's not something that's life-threatening and you can simply follow up with your primary care physician, then that's fantastic. But if we find out that it's something that's an actual life threat, now we're there and we're going to get the ball rolling on getting you treatment sooner. So it's just very, very important. If you're not feeling well, if you're feeling as though you're having a heart attack, if you're feeling as though you're having a stroke, you're driving yourself, please pull over, call 911, get the paramedics there, and they will continue getting you to the emergency room safely. So again, please just remember this the next time you're experiencing this, the next time you see a loved one, any family member, any friend, just go ahead and pick up the phone, call 911, and let's get this taken care of.
Thank you, Mark. We appreciate it. And we're going right back to the studio.
Our favorite time of the year is when our very active winter visitors come to enjoy our great weather and friendly valley. Guest segment host Frank Jaramillo tells us more.
We're here at Golden Village Palms RV Resort. they're having another taste of the valley. Let's go on in.
Many of the local businesses came out to share their product and what they have to offer. Frank had a chance to speak with some of our snowbirds to find out more of what attracts them to our valley.
And Lois, where are you from?
I'm from Langley, British Columbia, Canada.
Wonderful, Canada, all the way from Canada.
All the way.
And what brings you down here to Golden Village?
The people, mainly the people, and all the wonderful activities.
It's a good location to go out and do sites and stuff?
Yes, we do. Legoland, Disneyland, the zoos.
And who do you come here with?
My husband, Dick.
And it's just you two. How long do you stay?
5.5 months.
5.5 months.
Yes.
Wonderful. And you again are?
Judy Doherty.
Judy Doherty, how are you?
I'm well.
And you're from, again, where are you from?
Federal Way, Washington.
From Washington. And you come here for?
About 6 months.
For about 6 months. And what are the reasons that you come? Do you have family down here, or
No,
the weather?
we don't. We got a telephone call many years ago from a friend. We were freezing in Washington. He said, it's 75 here, come on down. We came for a week, and that was 16 years ago.
And you keep coming back.
back.
And the reasons that you keep coming back obviously are because you have a good time.
We have a great time. My husband found the sand volleyball, and that was it.
And he's been hooked ever since.
It's the best place we've ever found. The people are wonderful. The staff is fantastic. The activities are above anything else we've ever found, and it's just a really wonderful place to be.
And thank you so much for sharing. Enjoy your stay.
We always do.
Frank gets to speak with General Manager Michael Carl.
Michael, can you tell me a little bit about this event and some of the reasons why it's so important to our valley?
Well, we've been doing this now for 6 years already. It's Taste of the Valley, and we want to highlight all the businesses that our valley has to offer to all the snowbirds that come down into this area here. And the snowbirds is a very vital, important part to this valley. And so by having all the businesses on display and working with the Chamber of Commerce, it's the Hemet San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce, and it just completely unites the valley, the businesses, the people here, and all the snowbirds.
This is a great turnout. Is it always this crowded?
It is, and this time we've opened it up to the general outside public too. Before it's always been just the guests of Golden Village Palms. Right now we've opened it up working with the Chamber of Commerce, and so now it's the entire community that's coming on out here in full force.
So it gets bigger and bigger every year?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not sure what we're going to do next year, but it's gotten pretty big. We also do one in the summertime. It's our business-to-business expo with the Chamber.
That's wonderful news. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
You're welcome.
And we're here with
Lori Van Arsdale from the Ramona Bowl.
Anything new happening at the bowl or concerning Ramona?
We have a new play called The Trial of Sam Temple, and The Trial of Sam Temple is about Farrar, who's in the play, who actually shot Alessandro, whose real name was Juan Diego. And we have the transcripts from the trial. So we're going to do a play the first weekend in April about that.
And today's your chance to let the snowbirds know about that, because they wouldn't know it otherwise, correct?
They wouldn't know it otherwise, so we're telling them all that.
And that's why you're here today.
And we're telling them about Ramona and making them jealous and trying to get them to stay until it's time for Ramona, because they go home too early.
Wheels will ring, ting-a-ling-a-ling, ting-a-ling-a-ling, and you'll soon be the bella. Hearts will play tippy-tippy-tay, tippy-tippy-tay, like a game.
My name is Andy Anderson. I'm the CEO of the Hemet San Jacinto Valley Chamber of Commerce.
Wonderful. And what are some of the reasons why you're here today, Andy?
Today's a great opportunity for us to highlight the great restaurant choices we have here in the valley, not only to our local residents, but tourists, snowbirds, fellow business people. So that's one of the primary reason for this. The secondary reason is we have a lot of great businesses and nonprofit organizations that are here today. We're getting the word out as well as what they can do for the same individuals there.
And of course, this is very important economically for the.
It is very important. The snowbirds are a great source of revenue for our economy here locally, and the residents here at Golden Village Palms, as well as other locations here in the valley, are here today. So that's good for our valley and a great sign of success for the future.
I'm with
Oh, Phil Miller from Rogue River, Oregon.
Phil, what brings you here to Hemet?
Oh, the greatest people and the greatest park in the whole South right here.
And how long do you stay here?
We stay here 6 months out of the year. Yep.
And what are some of the things that you enjoy while you're down here?
Oh, the golfing and the Mexican food.
Joan, what are some of the reasons why you keep coming back to Hemet?
We love to come down to Hemet because we stay at GVP here because we have all of the people here. We are so appreciated by the community of Hemet, and we love to do all of the little charity works for. Last year we helped with a dog for the RCMP, and we like that we are so welcomed into this community. I like the size of it. It's not a big city. It's easy to get around. Everything's here that we need. And the weather.
And where are you from again? I'm sorry.
I'm from Campbell River, BC, which is on Vancouver Island.
And how long do you stay here?
We stay for 4 months at a time.
And you enjoy all 4 months, don't you?
We do so. It's a way better than our winter.
Thank you, Joan.
Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Alex Meyerhoff with the City of Hemet, and we're here today at the Taste of the Valley enjoying this fantastic event. And I'd like to introduce you to one of our city employees. This is Matt. Matt, say hi.
Hello, everybody.
So Matt, I wanted to ask you, what are you doing here today at the Taste of the Valley?
Trying to spread the word and give tips on people how to save water in and outdoor at their houses. We gave away a bunch of conservation kits and shower heads earlier. We ran out now.
Now, if people want to learn more about water conservation, how do they find out information from your department?
You can call our office 951-765-3710 or email me directly at mosborne@cityofhemet.org.
Thank you.
We've had a great time here with our winter visitors. This is such a great event for our valley. We'll be right back after these messages.
Let's all take a turn. Every drop of water we save helps. For water-saving tips, turn to BeWaterWise.com. Brought to you by the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California and your local water agency.
No matter what age you are, you need to start planning for retirement. And there's a lot of questions you have.
There are a lot of questions, Nancy. So we had local financial expert Hugh Regary come in and tell us just a little bit about planning for retirement. Welcome. Joining me is Hugh Regary, financial expert here in the Inland Empire. And Hugh specializes in retirement and estate planning. Welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here with you.
Now, I know a lot of us wait till the last minute to get on the retirement bandwagon. What can we do when maybe we haven't started planning for retirement as early as we should?
That's a good question, and you should start as soon as possible. There are several ways to start your retirement. One, you could open up an individual IRA. Two, you could put money after taxes away. But the key is to start saving today. If we started planning our retirement when we first started working, none of us would ever have to worry about our retirement. But most of us don't.
A lot of people are getting up there and they're retiring. What are you finding are their major concerns?
There are a lot of major concerns. And the biggest question I'm always asked is, will I have enough money to last the rest of my life? That's a very key question. We work 25 to 30 years to prepare for retirement. But once we get to retirement, we don't know if we have enough. So retirement is just like working. We have to plan for the rest of our lives to make sure we have enough money.
The average retirement now lasts, what, about 30 years?
Between 25 and 30 years, correct.
25 and 30 years. So we need to plan on at least for that amount of time.
Correct.
It's income tax time, and a lot of folks are going to be expecting a return. What should we do with that?
You should take your return and start either an IRA or a savings plan. It's very important to save as much money as you can. Most people want to wait until they have a large sum of money to put away, but it never works. Money is made over a long period of time, and $50 to $100 a month would make a huge difference in your retirement.
So Hugh, where should we invest our money today?
That's a good question, but it can't be answered in a simple sentence. There are a lot of variables when we look at where we want to put our money. First of all is your risk tolerance. Can you handle a loss in the market? Number two, do I need money that is safe and secure? Number three, what about inflation? We all know that inflation is low right now, but we all know that it's going to go up. And number four, what we have to figure is, do we have enough money based upon that criteria to last the rest of our life? It's important, very important, to talk to a professional. We in this generation, baby boomers, have worked hard, saved our money, but none of us are real expert when it comes to retirement planning. We need to get a professional that can help us walk through the maze so that we know and have the comfort that we have enough money to last the rest of our lives.
Well, I know a lot of people in my age group and lower, you know, there's all of this internet investing. Any thoughts on that?
The problem with internet investing is most people that buy don't understand what they're buying. And that's why, again, I say, getting a professional that you can look at eye to eye and set and understand what you're investing in, to me, is the most important thing you can do.
Well, I know that there's a lot of ground that we have yet to cover, and we're going to have you back again. Thank you so very much for being with us.
Thank you.
And we're going to be right back right after this.
For more information, visit McGarryFinancial.com. This RV Demolition Derby event can be seen on the valleyconnection.net website.
And welcome back as we close the show. And a very heartfelt thanks to Mercy Air and the crew there. You do such a phenomenal job for our community. And a special shout out to my friend Pat, who's a big supporter of the Valley Connection and volunteers at Hemet Ryan Airport. Thank you, Pat.
And a big thanks to Hugh Regary. My goodness, what timely information, especially as some of us are getting tax returns, right?
That's right. Not me, but that's right. And please go to our website, thevalleyconnection.net, where you can see this show again or previous shows.
So please join us next month for more of The Valley Connection.